Good morning, and welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. Hope you are all well. Join me for another Monday morning chat. As you're waking up on this Monday morning, having your breakfast, getting ready for the working week. And well, this time last week, exactly a week ago, I was sat encouraging a little rallying speech for the team ahead of Wednesday Conference League final. And well, we all know what happened, and we all know that the smile has yet to come off of my face. And yeah, we've just remained on cloud nine, really, haven't we? It's been truly exceptional. All the videos, all the photos, all the scenes, everything involved has just been out of this world. Like, it's just been completely and utterly just amazing. Amazing on every level. And I mean, we've got these players, we've got these players, the management, the backroom staff to thank for this, for these memories that we'll never forget as a football club. 43 years since we've won a trophy. It's been since 1965 since we won a European trophy. And you can see, you don't understand how much it means to us unless you're one of us. And that's the main point I've got. And coming up on today's Monday morning chat, I've got a couple of topics to discuss. Firstly, I want to talk about Kehrer, because it's only right. I've given the lad a lot of criticism this season, but it's time for me to eat my humble pie. That's coming up. And firstly, I'm going to talk about Lucas Paqueta and his Instagram story last night. About Declan Rice. We'll start with that then, and I'm going to put what he said up onto the screen. So Declan Rice put a picture of him and Paqueta, and simply put our Brazilian Magnifico. And Lucas Paqueta shared it to his story as well, and simply put the comment one more with the little shush emoji, heart and fire. Now, there seems to be a new and daily sort of Rice revelation, and this is, and this was yesterday's, along with the video, of course, from the advert he was doing about whether he wants to leave, who wants to join, and he said, "No, I'm West Ham, mate." But just to talk about that specifically, there's something this squad knows. I don't know. I've had a funny feeling inside me ever since we lifted that trophy on Wednesday night. I had a feeling he's going to stay. These players know something more, from the players on Thursday singing one more year, to Lucas Paqueta directly putting it onto his Instagram story. There's something these players know. I don't know what it is, but there's belief there in this team, in this squad, that Declan Rice will be a West Ham captain. Will be West Ham's captain next season. I don't know. I don't know. Am I reading into it too much? I'm not too sure. But we're gonna sort of cling on to any hope we can, and the hope seems to be coming very fastly, very efficiently, very quickly as of late. Of course, after the inevitable sort of outpouring of love from Rice after the Conference League win on Wednesday night, he's not said a bad word about us at all. He's said how much he loves his club, how much he loves these fans, and overall how much he just loves everything to do with West Ham United Football Club. And that's what we want to see. That's what we want to hear. And all you've got to do is sign the contract. What I want to see is David Sullivan get Declan Rice into his office and say, "Right, Rice, what do you want? Whether it's money, whether it's ambition, whether it's anything, get Declan Rice into Sullivan's office and ask him straight what he wants, and give him what he wants, whether he wants a certain player, whether he wants a certain style of play, whether he wants a certain amount of money. Give that man what he wants, because he can etch himself once more into West Ham history. Because you've got the Arsenal links there. Fair play, Arsenal are a brilliant football club, but Rice has undeniably admitted that he wants to win the best. He wants to win all the trophy that there is to win, and he's good enough to do that. But he's not going to do it at Arsenal. Arsenal bottled the league, the biggest bottle jobs this league has ever seen. They were top at Christmas, bottled it. They had the highest amount of points top. They had the highest amount of days top of the league, bottled it. He isn't going to go to Arsenal and win loads of trophies. The only team he'll go and do that with in England is Man City. But, and it's a big but, will he get into that side? There's so many questions to be answered, and he's got to get this call right, because it's his biggest call in his football career, of where he does go, if he goes anywhere, or does he opt for Bayern Munich, who are in for him? I don't know. Or is the best option for him to stay with the football club he loves, the football club that will love him the most, the football club that will give him the most joy? And I think that is West Ham United. Put your thoughts into the comment section down below. But the players are giving us hope. Is it false hope? Is it real hope? Only time will, of course, tell. The other subject I wanted to discuss this morning was about Kehrer. he was a signing that sort of came out of the blue because, and I think it was in relation, somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but one of our centre halves got injured. Or was it Dawson left? I'm not sure. No. That was in January. So I think Zuma or somebody got injured, so we needed to get a centre half in just to cover ourselves. And we brought in Tilo Kehrer. We all looked at the stats. What was he? I think the stat that was doing the rounds was the best passer in Ligue 1 for PSG. We're like, oh, we've got a good player here for 15 million quid. And then there was mistake after mistake after mistake. We labelled it the Kehrer moment. When was the Kehrer moment going to come in every game? Because he always had a bit of a nightmare in one, at one stage in every single game. But that's been eradicated over the last couple of months, and that sort of runs alongside other players finding form. And of course, he had to adapt to the league. The French league is a hell of a lot different to the Premier League. Premier League is much more fast-paced, much more aggressive, much more sort of assertive, compared to the very slow, Ligue 1. So, of course, there had to be time for adaptation. There had to be time for sort of getting used to things, and hopefully he's had that now. And I think he's sort of etched himself in all of our hearts in the way he sort of performed, played to the crowd at the parade. I'm not a man of very few words, but Irons, and everything else in there as well that he did, starting off all the chants and just being a proper geezer in there. And he was having the time of his absolute life, and putting any queries of him being unhappy, that's been put to bed. And the fan base love him now, that's clear. You can see the fan base have absolutely taken to him over the last few days because of his actions and the way he's acted. And of course, let's not forget the 45 minutes of football he played in the final as well, coming in with very short notice, with Zuma going off and him coming straight on into a final. A young player could have got frazzled and could have sort of freezed under pressure, but he didn't. Agerd gave him a nice tap on the shoulder, reassured him, and he didn't put a foot wrong. We didn't look any different without our best centre half there, in my opinion, in Kurt Zuma. And that, sort of tells the story of how good and solid Tilo Kehrer was in the time he played. And then, of course, he partied like there was no tomorrow on Wednesday and on Thursday. And I was wrong about him, and I'm going to eat my humble pie, because hopefully now he can kick on. I've seen people say we need to buy a right back this summer, which I don't think we need to, with Soufal and Kehrer there. I now have confidence in them both, which is just really positive. And hopefully now Kehrer's got his sort of adaptation period out of his way, and hopefully next season he can go on leaps and bounds. He can continue to perform well and succeed in this West Ham side, and we can make that £15 million fee look like an absolute bargain, look like an absolute steal, and the scouting network can have a good pat on the back. And I hope that's what happens, and I hope he comes good, and I hope he continues and excels in this West Ham United side. And competition for Soufal is never bad. It's never bad to have two really good players who can play in that position, fighting for that spot. That's always a good sign in a squad. And yeah, I was wrong about him, and I'll admit that. And hopefully, I don't turn right again. And hopefully, he can perform to the best of his ability, and he can become a very good asset to West Ham United. So overall, in today's show, I mean, we've had the Rice revelations once again yesterday. Paqueta's tempted fate. Paqueta's given us a little, an extra little nugget of hope. One more year. That's all we ask. Declan Rice, will he give it to us? I don't know, but from everything we've seen from Jules Breach simply putting it to him on Wednesday night, these fans have signed one more year to you, Dec. Are you going to give them what they want? He looked like an undecided man. And then Sullivan came on and pooped on our party, but we're going to forget about that. And the one more thing I'll say on the situation is, I hope David Sullivan isn't pushing Declan Rice out of this door. I hope David Sullivan isn't seeing that he's going to sell the club and he's going to line his pockets with the fee for the fee he'll get for Declan Rice. I truly hope he's not selling him. He's not pushing him out the door for his own sake, because if he is, then he will be a man that will never be forgiven at West Ham, and that is the bottom line. David Sullivan, get that man into your office and give that man exactly what he wants. Keep him at this football club, and let's go and win the Europa League next season. With Declan Rice as our captain, a couple more improvements, and these players continuing to perform and improve, and there's no reason why we can't go and win the Europa League next season. And if we do that, all of a sudden we're in the Champions League, which is meeting the expectations and ambitions of Declan Rice. And I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit there, but that's the path we're now on. If we lost that Conference League final, there's no doubt Rice would leave. But now there's an element of undecidedness in everybody. And, with the consistent amount of Willie won't he coming out, it is increasing my nerves and most certainly increasing my hope of Basmati Billy Bonds remaining at the London Stadium in the East End of London. From me, this has been the Monday Morning Chat. Enjoy the rest of your day if you can, and just if you're feeling a bit down, if it's a long day, in your lunch break, just watch a few more final related videos because it will cheer you up, no doubt. From me, cheers, and come on your minds, and we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. The final word. I was wrong about Kehrer. Let's hope he continues to come good. And Rice, one more year. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.